And then we're going to Synchro Summon into our Shenshen. And we're going to make Baron with Shenshen and Snowbell. Now this Baron can't be destroyed by card effects. And we will be able to grab our Shenshen out of the graveyard next turn. What's going on, YouTube? Today I've got a crazy deck profile for you today. I've been playing this deck for the past week. To be completely honest, it wasn't feeling very good, and then I slapped in the Windwitch engine, and it's been feeling really, really good. Gives you easy access to Baron almost every single game. You're going to go Baron, QB, and it's just going to be super hard to break. If you can't get to that, you go into your Ashura King for another Omni Negate, and then you can also go into your Zeus. But this deck is absolutely crazy, and I'm very excited to share it with you guys. So starting off with our Windwitch engine, we are going to run one Windwitch Snowbell. This card right here has a very interesting effect that allows you to, when you Synchro Summon with Snowbell, the Synchro monster that you create won't be able to be destroyed by card effects, and a lot of the time, you're going to use your Snowbell to get to Baron, and you're going to have a Baron that can't be destroyed by card effects, which is very, very strong as an Omni Negate. It's really hard to get off the board, and it's super strong. We do run 3 Windwitch Ice Bell, basically just an extender to get you to the Glass Bell, which will eventually get you back to the Snowbell. We do run 3 Ash Blossom as our hand trap. We only run 1 hand trap in this deck. I was running way more hand traps when we were breaking a lot. But Ash Blossom's always good. Always run Ash Blossom, no matter what anyone else says. That card is crazy. We do run 2 Nyan-Yans. If a level 3 monster would be summoned, and this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this thing out from the graveyard, and it will become a tuner. We run 3 of Lulu. Basically, this is just a level 3 tuner. You can special summon it out just like every other one of the Virtual World decks. If you control a Virtual World card at like whatsoever, you can target that card and then send another Virtual World monster to the graveyard if it's a spell, or if you target a monster, you can send a spell or a trap to the graveyard. But we do run 3 Lulu. It's a level 3 tuner. We run 3 Gigi. This card is pretty nuts. Basically, what it does is it lets you send a card to the graveyard, and then you can add another monster into your hand during the end phase. We run 3 Lau Lau, level 6 tuner. Same special summon mechanic, very, very strong. It lets you special summon another Virtual World monster out from the graveyard. If you have the monster in there, obviously, but you can special summon 2 monsters out that way. We run 3 Lily. This card is also really, really strong. Same kind of mechanic. You just send stuff to the graveyard, pull stuff out of your graveyard. Just to be something to be aware of, you can only special summon things that are level 3 or higher, or level or rank 3 higher from the extra deck once you use a lot of these effects. But that's going to run out all of our monsters. We are running 3 Pot of Desires just to cut the deck down and make it even more consistent than it already is. We do run 3 Kowloon, the Virtual City card. Basically, you just throw this out and it throws out one of your spell or traps. And if you draw this card, that's generally how you're going to get all of your special summons out. We're running 3 Quing Longs. This card is really, really strong. You can negate a monster's effect, and if this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it and add a Virtual World monster to your hand, and then you have to discard a Virtual World monster as well. Or, I'm sorry, you just have to discard anything. But we do run 2 Emergency Teleports since we are running 8 level 3s in the deck, and you can just pick whichever one you need to get out at the moment, but that card's very strong in the deck, makes it even more consistent. We're running 1 Called by the Grave, 3 Infinite Impermanence, and 2... I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of the Virtual World Trap card, but what this does is when you have 2 Virtual World cards banished, you can shuffle them back into your deck and destroy one. So it's a pop 1, very, very strong. And then if this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it from the graveyard to increase or decrease one of your Virtual World level monsters by 3 levels. So let's say you have a level 6 and you have 2 level 3s on your board. You decrease that to level 3, and then you can summon out the Ashura King. But that's all for the main deck. I promise you guys this is really, really strong. If you end up building this or trying it, making it your own, you'll really enjoy this deck. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it's crazy strong. But first off, we run a Stardust Charge Warrior. Mostly this is used to ramp, so I'll like throw, for example, if we have Lulu and Gigi out, I'll make a Stardust Charge Warrior, and then I'll draw a card. Same thing with Coral Dragon, except for this one is a tuner, but it is still a draw card, so you would ramp with it the same way that you would use Stardust, unless you don't have a tuner. So for Stardust Charge Warrior, you're looking at having 4 monsters on your board. you would need 2 tuners. So let's say Nyan Nyan comes out because you summon Gigi, right? So there's already 2 monsters. Let's say you have Lulu and then any other level 3 monster out. You would summon Stardust, and then you would be able to synchro summon into Shen Shen immediately after. But if you have Coral Dragon, it's going to be a tuner, so you don't want to stack 2 tuners because then you can't synchro summon. But both of those are really strong. I actually haven't used much of Juju, but it does have a strong effect, just another bounce effect. One thing about this deck is it can break almost every board that there is. You have access to Juju, Moonlight Rose Dragon, Mistworm, which is also a bounce. You have Trish, you've got Vermilion Dragon Mech, you've got Baron, you've got Ashura King, and you've got Zeus, and of course Fan Fan. All of these cards can just shred open your opponent's board and make it really easy to break it. We do run 1 Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, again, just to pop something off the board. Same thing for Mistworm. You can target 3 monsters and return them to the deck. Mostly this is going to be used to pop extra deck monsters. We do run a Trishula just because, why not? It's a cool card. Pop 1. Banish stuff. Cool card. Vermilion Dragon Mech works really well in this deck. Basically what you do is you make this, and then you banish a tuner from your hand, graveyard, or field, and then you pop 1 on their board. And then we run 1 Shen Shen. If you guys are looking at Virtual World, you should probably know what Shen Shen does by now. But basically, every card that's on the field that is destroyed or sent to the graveyard will be banished instead. This can absolutely destroy a lot of decks that are really heavily reliant on the graveyard. So Shen Shen is very strong in the deck. And also, you can return one of your banished monsters to the owner's graveyard every time you attack, or once per turn when you attack with a monster, as long as you have Shen Shen on the board. And if Shen Shen's in your graveyard, you can banish 2 monsters from your graveyard and get it back out on the next turn if it got destroyed or something. We do run a Baron because Baron is absolutely crazy. It's just an Omni Negate. There's no reason why you shouldn't be running Baron if you're playing a Synchro deck right now. We do have an Ashura King in here just in case we can't get to our Baron. It is 3 level 3 monsters, so you're not going to get to it every game. But most of the times when you can't get to a Baron, you're going to be able to get to Ashura King. This is another Omni Negate, and every time it battles, it gets 200 more attack, and it can battle as many times as it has material. So if you have all 3 level 3 monsters still attached to this card, it can battle up to 3 times, and it will gain 200 attack for each battle. We do run 1 Fan Fan. This is basically just another pop 1 and another way to get Zeus out. And we, of course, run 1 Zeus. We're only running 12 cards in the extra deck. We could be running more Xyz cards to get easier access to the Zeus. So if you guys wanted to put more Xyz monsters in here, you absolutely could. But I just don't really feel like spending the ultra rare points. So yeah, this is the deck. And I'm just going to have to hop into the replays and show you guys how it works. Alright, we're starting off going first on this turn. We're going to use our Kowloon to try to get our spell card out. They don't negate it. That's awesome for us. So we're going to go into our Wind Witch engine. Bring out all the Wind Witch cards we have in the deck. And he's going to take 500 in burn. After we get our Snowbell out, we're going to use our Lao Lao and send something else to the graveyard. We sent a Nyan Nyan for later. And then we're going to Synchro Summon into our Shen Shen. And we're going to make Baron with Shen Shen and Snowbell. Now this Baron can't be destroyed by card effects. And we will be able to grab our Shen Shen out of the graveyard next turn. And he's going to try to go into Unexpected Die, which we're going to negate with Ash Blossom. I'm going to fast forward through this just a little bit. He's going to go into that. We're going to negate it with Baron so that he can't have any extension on his turn whatsoever. He tries to Raigeki us, but he doesn't know the Snowbell makes my Baron immune to card effects. So it lives, he concedes, and that's why I think Baron and Snowbell, like the Wind Witch engine, is really strong, so you can make a Baron that's like unremovable. But anyways, on to the next game. So we don't have our normal Wind Witch engine starter, but I actually do like having Snowbell in the hand. We're going to start with our normal Virtual World plays, just using the special summons. And then we're going to use our Kowloon to get a spell card out. Or, I'm sorry, the trap card out. We're going to make our Shen Shen, and then we're going to normal summon Snowbell because we haven't normal summoned this turn. They're going to affect Veiler Shen Shen for whatever reason. And we're going to make Baron. We'll be able to bring out our Shen Shen next turn, and this Baron is again immune to card effects. We do have an infinite impermanence and a defleur negate to get through this turn. So he's going to go into Link Disciple here, and then he's going to try to special summon his Exceed monster. So we're going to negate the effect of Link Disciple so that he can't draw one. He's going to summon the Parallel Exceed. He's going to try to use that, and we're going to Baron that. So we negated every chance he had to extend this. His Exceed gets destroyed as well. He sets 2 and passes. And now we are going to be able to get our Shen back out, but first we're going to banish our spell card. He decides he wants to negate our My Hin for some reason. And we're just going to continue on with our plays, targeting our trap cards so that we can send Monster to the graveyard. Gonna get into our Vermilion Dragon Mech, and we're going to bring our Shen back. And now this game is pretty much over because everything that he's using is going to go into the banish zone. And we like our cards being banished, most decks don't. And as you can see, he concedes after we use the Baron Pop. There was nothing he was going to be able to do because we had an Omni Negate and everything that he uses is going into the banish, so he has no graveyard at the moment. Alright, on to the last replay. We're starting first again. We're going to set our Infinite Impermanence, use our Kowloon. He's going to Ash Blossom our Kowloon so we can't get out one of our spells or traps. And then we're going to use our Pot of Desires. And we get 2 GGs, which kind of sucks. But we can still special summon out our other cards, which is fine. We're going to banish our spell card to search into a Yen, who we're going to send to the graveyard for later. And then we're going to use our GG. And Yen's going to come back out because we already sent her to the graveyard. And here we're going to make a Shuriken. And now we have an Omni Negate and our Infinite Impermanence. So we're pretty safe. We also have an Ash Blossom. He is going to Harpy's Feather Duster our Imperm, which is a little unfortunate, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. He's going to try to play Fossil Dig, which we're going to Ash Blossom. He does have Called by the Grave here, so he gets the Fossil Dig off, which isn't a huge deal. But really quick, I'm just going to fast forward through the chain. He searches into a baby, and he's going to try to pop it, but we're going to negate that with the Shuriken. And now his turn is completely over. That's a negate destroy. He can't pop his baby. He has nothing that he can do here. And then we get to swing twice with the Shuriken because of the effect it has. We draw into Call by the Grave. Not the greatest draw we could have gotten, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We search another GG out. Or, I'm sorry, we draw another GG out. And we keep sending that spell so that we can keep recycling our cards over and over and over again. But I mostly wanted to show you guys this replay because I wanted to show that a Shuriken works in replacement of Baron, just in case you can't get to a level 10 Synchro and you can have all those level 3s on the board. But yeah, guys, this deck is really, really strong, and I really hope you guys give it a try. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And lastly, if you guys have any decks that you'd like to see us build, let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, have a good day.